Hey guys, Desolator Magic here is still totally fried from the pre-release, but we'll see what the power of sheer willpower and caffeine can do when they team up. Spoiler alert, the answer is not read correctly or speak correctly. But that's not going to stop me from finishing up Chapter 6 of the awesome Dominaria storyline. So in the first half, Teferi and his daughter Nyambe decided to take another crack at solving one of possibly the last puzzles in this monument that, I don't know, contains some kind of Urza's weapons, tools, artifacts, whatever. And they want to use one of them to hopefully repair some kind of time rift thing because Teferi's a careless idiot and he phased out all of Zalafir. So then the Weatherlight and crew show up and they're like, hey, Teferi, we need you and your time magic so we can sneak into the stronghold so that we can kill this demon guy. And he's like, oh yeah, I hate the cult, but I really want to solve this puzzle. So they're all gonna, help him take another crack at the cube and tile puzzle or whatever it is. And so Gideon asks, hey, what was Urza hiding the artifact from? Apparently it's not plural now. It was a paragraph up. No, now it's the artifact, but anyway. He's like, oh, was he hiding it from the Phyrexians? And Teferi says, no, from me. Yeah, Teferi's kind of an idiot in case you didn't catch that. His solution to everything is phase it out. And then, oh, I got to bring it back? Crap, I don't know how to do that. And he makes that mistake over and over and over and over and over in the storyline because he's an idiot. So yes, some kind of temporal artifact, I would hide it from Teferi. So Nyambe and Jyra start talking about equations and mathematics because that's where she thought she had the puzzle thing down. So then comic relief little kid Raph says, they're helping us kill Belzenlock so then they can go kill Nicol Bolas. Everyone's helping each other. I think he's been watching too much like children's educational television. So Liliana gives him the stank eye and he replies, oh, it's not a secret, is it? And then Liliana, I don't know how she would get this reference. It's a World War II reference, but she says loose lips get skyships destroyed. Loose lip sink ships. Apparently Liliana knows about World War II. See, that's what they call in the writing world an anachronism. So everybody's talking and Liliana finally tells Gideon, can you stop telling him every last little detail of our plan and our history and all about me and that I'm a necromancer and on and on and on and the Cabal and my brother and, everything else because, he hasn't really actually agreed to help us yet. So Jyra and Nyambe eventually got done comparing notes and they're like, okay, we're going back in for another try. So they must have thought of something. Basically, Jyra thinks that Nyambe was right. She just got one little part wrong. So let's go. So Jyra and Raph both have a theory that Urza designed this place to specifically not be solvable by Teferi. I guess he knew him, they were friends, and he knew how he thought, and so he made the math of this or the planning purposely obscure to Teferi's, I don't know, mind or his skill set or whatever. So Liliana and Raph as well, because of course he inserts himself into everything and pretends he has massive magical powers, even though he's approximately 12 or 13, so he clearly does not. They're both like, you know what? These wells that are on the corners or whatever, I guess there's these deep wells. They said, I'm thinking that there's ghosts here. And Teferi's like, well, if there was any kind of beings or magic or anything out of phase, I would have sensed it. And they're like, but you're you, and Urza is Urza, and Urza didn't want you breaking in, so it's probably actual ghosts. This is not 100% all mechanical artificer crap. So some of them stand guard for automatons, some of them get ready to do, I don't know, some Ghostbuster crap, and the rest go across the walkway to start triggering the blocks. And then instantly they're like, yep, there's ghosts here, 100% sure. And apparently the ghosts are part of some cliche 5th grade level math problem, I guess. Because Nyambe's like, oh, how many ghosts are over there? And she's like, oh, 3. So I get it. It's count the ghosts. So the problem is, normally a normal person would have been able to see the ghosts, but these type of ghosts lose cohesion over time, and they are way too old to have any kind of visible form at all. So Nyambe's sitting there scribbling down all kinds of mathematics and everything, and Liliana's like, okay, there's 2 over there, there's a couple floating down over here, there's 2 over there, and Teferi entered the sequence with his staff. So they're playing the Ghost County block activating staff game. Sounds fun, I should try it sometime. And let's see, who's the 2 meatheads? Oh yeah, Shanna and Gideon. They had some automatons, big old 8-foot tall Mishra's replicators Don't know how their Mishra is. I thought Mishra and Urza didn't get along. But yeah, they just like rammed them off the ledge and they tumbled down into the well, which is awesome. So they kept putting in, sequences based on where the spirits were. And as they progressed, the onslaught was more and more and more and more and more. Just more traps, more automatons, more everything, as if like it knew that the puzzle was being solved. In fact, they pretty much suspect that, since he's never been attacked on this scale before while they were there, that this is just like everybody flood the room and attack. Every automaton, robot, spider, golem, everything. Everything in the whole area just like flood the room because they're about to solve it. Kind of like in Command & Conquer Generals when you piss off the Air Force general and he's like, that's it, pull the goalies, and he sends everybody. So then Teferi keeps going with the sequence and activates a block under his feet, and it starts moving, and he's like, oh, there's going to be some kind of attack or trap. Nope, it moves out of the way and shows like a little hidden area, I guess. Or actually, the one he activated made the one in the center slide away, which is, obviously like where the treasure is. So he just jumps right into the treasure compartment, despite everybody's better judgment. But he was pretty sure there wasn't a trap in there, and the second that he grabs the artifact, boom, everything stops. So it says he found a dark crystal orb nestled in a cage of silver vines. Ooh. It's probably like some Mox thing or whatever. I forgot what the artwork looks like for that. He turned to face the others, and Joyra was triumphant, Raph was impressed, and Liliana was trying not to look impressed, because she is way too emo for that, apparently. And Gideon and Shauna seemed relieved and interested in what he actually found, because it looked cool. Plus, they were absolutely surrounded by just, like, busted up automaton parts and, like, gears and chunks of metal and crap. Yeah, they were going hard on them defenses. So they do have a theory that Urza had expected Teferi to be there by himself, and this was virtually impossible to solve by himself, which is why he built it that way, to keep him out. But Urza didn't really have friends or like other people or whatever. So he could only conceive of, Teferi's going to come here himself. He didn't think, teamwork. So that's right, the magical power of friendship and teamwork solved the riddle. Oh boy. Then all of a sudden there was a big old rumbling noise coming from the ceiling, and some dust and stuff started coming down, and Liliana said, I wouldn't be surprised if Urza was a sore loser. I think this place is collapsing. So they finally get outside as everything's coming down, and Joyra's owl, the mechanical owl that she has, apparently can speak, because it shouted to them, the entire plateau is sinking. Dudes, Urza's going hard on this one. So there was sand just like pouring into the well. I guess this entire place was a monument and a well or some kind of bottomless pit. I don't know. They didn't really explain it. So they're in almost like a whirlpool of sand, kind of. It's just like all sinking into a big old hole. And then, of course, the Weatherlight to the rescue. They see a bunch of ladders drop and, last second rescue. Oh boy, cliche. So they got the artifact. They watch as like the entire area collapses into the ground. The whole stone monument building totally gone. And Joyra says, so, Teferi, are you coming with us to help save the world? Again? And Teferi says, yeah, I think I will. Seriously, I didn't make that up. That's actually what he said. Now, see, this is what I like. There's a mix of, like, kind of careless, just rushed, let's get the story progressed writing. And then there's, like, filling in plot holes that would have been filled in your head, but it's nice that they did it. So they said after they stopped to collect Teferi and Nyambi's belongings from their campsite, they spent all night on the Weatherlight. So yeah, it makes sense. They got to swing back, grab all the stuff that they left at the campsite and any personal effects equipment, all that. If they wouldn't have said that, you almost would have assumed it. But the fact that they said it is like, okay, cleaned up a loose end. Boom. It's just good, nice, logical writing. But other times they jump even in dialogue or from progressing from one thing to another logically. They just jump because the story needs to get going, I guess. I really didn't appreciate that in some of the chapters. But overall, this is a really good storyline. That's because Martha Wells really knows what she's doing. If there's any little flaws or rushed areas, I would suspect that it has something to do with the amount of money Wizards of the Coast was paying her, or should I maybe say wasn't. I mean, it's not like I have a dollar amount, it's just they cheap out on everybody and pay their staff like not anywhere near what they should, according to a bunch of sources. So, yeah. So then they go drop Nyambi off. I guess she was never interested in going along with them. I think she just like has like a whole life and everything. They like literally drop her off at her house. And she wasn't like, no, I want to come with you. She was like, all right, bye. Actually, she says, have a good time with your friends. Kill lots of demons. Epic. Dude, Nyambi is my new favorite character. Sorry, comedy relief little kid Raph. By the way, seriously though, Hashtag don't kill Raph. They are clearly going to kill Raph in a future chapter. It's the writings on the wall and on the webpage. If they think it's good writing to just make people feel feels by, oh no, Gideon died, because remember, there was all this fake foreshadowing that Gideon was going to die. Well, it wasn't even foreshadowing. Literally, the demon was like, Gideon, you're going to die. And then I'm pretty sure Nicobolus later was like, hey, Gideon, you're going to die soon. Like, everybody's like pulling out their crystal ball, like, hey, come in now for your free psychic reading. But then it never happened. But I will say there's an awful lot of evidence leading up to they're going to kill off Raph, just because he's a side character to be like, oh no, it's so tragic. If they think they can pull a George R.R. Martin, that fat Santa Claus's ugly cousin looking piece of crap, it's just cheap. It's like fart jokes in a comedian stand-up. Oh, look, a character died. I made you feel feelings and emotion. What a great writer I am. It's the cheap, stupid, easy way out. The best thing is, nobody knows who the hell Raph is. He had like 3 lines. That's why he's like such a throwaway character. He's like the one that would die first in a horror movie. But yeah, I think they're going to go the cheap route, and that because they said something about, oh, do you think he's aware of his own mortality and the danger of blah, blah, blah in this mission? And I mean, come on. Could you spell it out anymore? So hopefully, hashtag Teferi dies instead is what we'll get. That guy sucks. I hate him. He has royally screwed up Dominaria on multiple occasions. He admitted it himself, by the way, in the story. And then maybe they'll give Raph a teaching position at Delirian Academy, because that wouldn't be a disaster. He's totally not like a totally self-absorbed, arrogant person, and that would just suck. And also he thinks his skills are way better than they are, yeah. He'd basically be that memory charm guy from Harry Potter. Actually, he is kind of annoying. You know what? If he dies, who cares? Cancel it. Cancel the whole hashtag don't kill Raph. Hashtag I don't care as long as Teferi goes with him. Yes. But there's one thing I'm sure of, and it's if they kill Jorah's owl, there will be no forgiving them. So the question is, are they going to try to restore Zalfir, or is that like close enough he can do it later and they're on their way to Belzenlock's little castle stronghold thing or whatever? They actually didn't really make it all that clear. So naturally, because there's 6 more chapters, the narrator / Jorah, I guess, say only a few more pieces to put into place and they would be able to break into the Cabal's stronghold and kill Belzenlock, aka Billy. But that was the easy part. Really? I mean, what, hunt down the rest of the Cabal? Like, I don't know what they're referring to. She touched the amulet around her neck, then opened it. Inside lay a small power stone. Oh boy. Glittering in the dim light. She had made this stone herself at the Thran Mana rig. That sounds cool. That sounds like some kind of Wisconsin event, the Thran Mana rig, that would like have funnel cake and a demolition derby and maybe a tractor pull. Hey, y'all, come on down to the Thran Mana rig. But anyway, get this. Ready for the biggest twist? This twist might actually make you pull a muscle. It's so twisty. Like, you could just be sitting there and when I say it, you'll be like, oh, I'm cramping up. All right, so she's touching the necklace that she's wearing. She had made a small power stone at the Thran Mana rig, whatever the hell that is, and it held Teferi's Planeswalker Spark. So I don't know the story other than he somehow gave it up or whatever to phase back into the time stream. What was it? Shiv or something like that? Obviously not Zalfir. Oh, too soon. But I guess she got it back and trapped it inside of a small power stone that she homemade in shop class. Hey, she's an artificer. It seems reasonable, honestly. It's just, this is a hell of a twist. I mean, this is actually pretty damn good. It's not that big of a reveal. I mean, it's more like the how, because remember, Teferi is a Planeswalker card in the game. Like, we've seen the card. It's been spoiled. Some of you probably played with it at the pre-release. Or, wait, he might not be in the main set. He might just be in the Planeswalker deck. I totally don't remember. Either way, he clearly got his spark back, unless it's like a historic reference to how he used to be. But nobody really thought that. So, oh look, his spark is trapped into Power Stone and she has control of it. So the final line of the chapter is, the hard part, she told herself, is going to be convincing him to take this back. Why? Does he not want to be powerful? I mean, they kind of alluded to it earlier. That like I don't know, something about mistakes. He was talking about it with Liliana, like, oh, we've all made mistakes, and the best we can do instead of fixing them, which, hello, you can like travel through time basically, but you gotta like do enough good to offset the bad and balance the scales or something like that. So I guess he doesn't trust himself with tons and tons and tons of power. And remember, planeswalkers automatically have their mana abilities and spells and spell casting abilities amplified just by having a planeswalker spark. I think from a technical standpoint, they can draw upon more mana from a further distance, and in the old, possibly not accurate anymore lore, they could draw mana from multiple planes. Yeah, that'll boost your crap. I mean, come on, it's traditional Dragon Ball Z Spirit Bomb rules. So anyway, here's what you do, okay? If he's like, no, I don't want that kind of power. I just can't do it. Okay, sharpen the Power Stone into like the tip of a dart and then just blow dart right in his neck. Boom, spark injection. What's up? Spark attack. Sneak spark attack. So if that happens, I will literally buy every one of you a Lamborghini. Terms and conditions apply. The first term and condition is that I'm not going to do that. But we'll see what kind of interesting shenanigans and chicanery and craziness and bamboozling and befuddling the crew gets up to on their way to wherever they're going next that wasn't clearly specified. Honestly, I would bring back Zalfir, and then remember they were like basically Atlantis. They're super high tech, tons of, army automatons, all that stuff. So then they could get like an army from them and then use that to attack the stronghold with Teferi's help. I mean, that would make sense logically. If Teferi's like, no, I'll go phase Zalfir back in later. It'll probably take 10 years to figure out how to do it. I mean, they have the artifact. They don't necessarily know how to use it. So if that's what happens, that would be interesting. It'd be more dramatic. It'd be some Lord of the Rings crap, going into Mordor with the ring with a small group. But yeah, should be interesting. So if you don't want to miss the next couple of chapters, hit that subscribe button, and I will see you guys next video.